Okay, this is what we're going to be doing tomorrow when you come into class. We're going to be doing activity 5.2a in the textbook. Okay, what do samples tell us? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you, you're going to look at your book, and figure 5.4 on the next page shows a small population. Each circle represents an adult. The colored circles are people who disapprove of legal gambling, and the white circles are people who approve of gambling. Okay, if you notice, look at this right here. Now, in your textbook, these blue circles are going to be shaded. Okay, these represent people who approve of gambling. The white ones are of people who, or the non-shaded ones, are the ones who approve of gambling. Now, if you notice here, here's the layout. There are 60 non-shaded circles. So 60 out of 100 means that's 0.6, so 60% approve of gambling. That means there are 40 that are not shaded, or that are shaded, and so therefore 40% or zero point 0.4 disapprove of gambling. Okay, what you're going to do is this. All right, let me blow this up real quick. All right, what you're going to do, the circles are labeled from 00 to 99. You're going to either be assigned a table B, or in this case, I'm going to allow you to use your calculator. All right, and I'm going to show you how to do an SRS on your calculator. What you're going to do is you're going to take an SRS of size 10. Now remember, you have to explain your method clearly enough for a classmate to repeat the process. So you've got to write down what numbers you chose, how many digits there were, what are you excluding or ignoring. All right. Now notice our table or our pictures are from 00 to 99. So we're going to use the numbers from 00 to 99, and we're not going to exclude any of them. Okay? Now, I'm going to take 10 numbers, and there's a couple ways I can do this. Now, in your calculator, I want you to notice something. All right, the way we get to probability is we hit the option button. Now, mind you, let me go back. I'm in run matrix. I'm in number 1, so hit number 1. Hit the option button. Notice I'm going to hit the F6 button, and then there's probability, which is F3. I want to pick a random digit, which is F4, and then I want a random integer. All right, now notice what pops up on the screen. All right, let me go ahead and clean this up a little bit. Let me zoom in. All right, so now on this random integer, hopefully you can see that. All right, very good. What you're going to do is, since your numbers are from 0 to 99, you're going to put 0 to 99. Now, here's a cool thing about it. You can put a parentheses around this, and this will give you one random number at a time. If you keep hitting enter, it'll give you just these random numbers. Now, one of the things you can do is this. Let's go ahead and delete this list. Okay, let me exit out here. I'm going to delete this line. And I'm going to go up and delete this line. All right, now, one of the things you can do, instead of doing one number at a time, you can actually do 10 numbers at a time. So what this is going to tell me is my beginning number is 0, my ending number is 99. Now, you could put 00 here, but the calculator is only going to recognize 10. So we're going to go from 0 to 99, and we're going to count 10 numbers. And I'm going to hit enter. Notice, I now have 10 numbers. And so what you're going to do is you're going to write those numbers down. So, on a sheet of paper, I'm going to write out those numbers of 9, 75, 18, 43, 38, 77. Oh, wait a minute, there's a 5, but that's not all my numbers. Notice there's an arrow here. Okay, let me go ahead and clean that up a little bit. All right, there's an arrow here. So what you do is you arrow up, and you scroll to the right, and there are more numbers. So 14, so comma 14, 67, and 47. Now, you've got to be careful. Make sure there are no repeating digits. If you happen to get one that is repeating, then the only thing you have to do is go back up to the line right here, change this or delete the 10 and bring it back down here, and what it's going to do is it'll give you one number. So if you had a repeating number and you only needed one more to complete the set of 10, there you go. You can do it that way. So again, option, F6, probability, random, integer, and then you can choose your numbers. Now, notice what you've done. You've picked an SRS of 10 numbers. Okay? Once you have, this is my sample 1, sample number 1. Okay? Once you have that one sample, you're going to do a sample number 2, a sample number 3, a sample number 4, all the way down. All the way down till you have 10 samples. Okay? Now, what you're going to do after you've taken your sample is you're going to look at your list. You're going to compare it to this list. Okay? Now, we are only looking for those who approve of gambling. So that's anything that is not circled or shaded in. So for instance, my first one is number 9. Number 9 is not shaded, therefore it's one of the ones I'm looking for. 75 is shaded. So 75 is someone who disapproves of gambling, so I cannot circle him. And as I go through the list, 18 approves of gambling, 43 approves of gambling. Let me zoom this out a little bit more. All right, there we go. All right, number 38 does not approve, so that's not what I'm looking for. 77, no. 5, yes, approves of gambling. 14 does not approve of gambling. 67 approves of gambling. And 47 approves of gambling. And what you're going to do is you're going to count up all the circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, because you have 10 numbers, this is going to be 6 out of 10, which is 60%. And you're going to do that for each and every single one of them. So this is what your final product should look like. You're going to do 10 samples. You're going to count in each row how many approve of gambling. In my first row, 80%. In my second row, 70%. In my third row, 60%. In my fourth row, 50%. So on and so forth. Now, notice, this comment says that you can check that 60%, let me blow this up a little bit. It says you can check that 60%, or 60 out of the 100, approve of gambling. That is 60%. This is what I call my parameter. All right? This is my parameter. This is what I'm trying to prove. Okay? Now, let me eliminate this a little bit. I want to know what is the proportion of the people in your sample who approve of gambling. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to add up all the proportions of all 10 samples. I got 6.2. You're then going to divide by 10, and I got 0.62. Now, there will be a dot plot on the board. You simply come up to the dot plot, and you put a dot where your percentage is. Mine's at 0.62. Therefore, I'm going to put a dot at approximately 0.62. And that is what you're doing for tomorrow. Thank you.